It is Thursday. I critique. We're on number 8 right now, so we're moving right along. Beginning of the year, we're popping these out. So thank you for everyone sending them in. Today we have some great sport action images from a good friend of mine, Pat Jacoby. I went to school with him, and I know what he's rocking. He rocks the Nikon D7000, I think. I don't know if you upgraded, and his 70-200 lens. So he's getting a lot of use out of these lenses. He does a lot of college shots at the college that we both attended. So let's check him out. Let's do a quick eye critique. So let's dive right into the images. All right, so as I said, this is action, sports photography that Pat does. And yeah, let's look at it right here. So we got perfect baseball shot. I like it. It does seem like it's a little off kilter, a little slanted a little bit. You kind of see the line does go down. I get nitpicky on that, so that does stick out to me. I mean, it might be not a big deal for some. But what you want to do with sports is capture main action. Freeze the ball, freeze the moment. You don't want to see a lot of movement, if that's the shot you're going for, but typically that's how it is if you want to do them professionally. So what we have right here is a extremely fast shutter speed, probably like 400, 600 of a second, because we have the bat stopped right here. We have the ball, which does show a little bit of motion, so maybe you could have played with that a little more, but I don't think you need to because it works for this shot. Yeah, I mean, we have the moment here. I guess I would kind of like it. The whole thing with baseball is you want the connection. You want the moment where the bat hits the ball and it's just like this, and you kind of see the bat bend. So I like the shot. I like how you can see that it's broken. I mean, if you really want to take it another way too, you could, the ball might be coming in and the bat broke before it even did that. So I feel like if it was closer, if it's like right here, like after it's just coming off and you see the start of the break, I think it would have been a stronger shot, but it's extremely tough to do. The whole connection point is the biggest one. Exposure spot on. There's not much you can do with the background. I think it's, pretty well blown out for it being wider with a 70-200 lens. If anything, I would also frame it maybe, a little closer, not show as much up here. You have the trees, and that's our, just a little bit distracting there. So maybe get a little closer. But yeah, I like the angle, like the perspective. But yeah, just I think a little tighter and a little sooner than what you have. But it's a strong shot. Okay, on the soccer, typical passing shot. I don't think he's shooting or anything like that. You get the whole setting here. Bokeh looks good. Looked like maybe it was a rainy day or something. Once again, I think you need a little more. There's a little bit of dead space over here on the left side of the image, Pat. So I would kind of tighten that up, because like this guy doesn't do anything for me. And maybe if you could pose it like right down here or something, I get, obviously it's a soccer game. You have the people in the back, you have the coach, etc. So maybe a little tighter here. Yeah, it's an action shot. It's great for like a website, put up there, whoever number 2 is. Don't really know who it is. But it could work for something, and that's a peak action shot. I like the moment going on. Not much else to say. Bokeh does look good, and the exposure is spot on. So your white balance and everything like that, it's pretty good. Let's keep going down. All right, we have a baseball shot, either someone stealing second base or something. Peak action, great. Angle tight, perfect. I like the framing. I like everything about it. Maybe come a little down, but I like how the center fielder probably is the center fielder there, and dirt kicking up. Good shot. Not much else I could say here. Perfect, timed well, and I like how everything's in the frame. So good shot there. And field hockey, another good shot. You're showing the peak action. They're doing something here. There's something going on. With something like this, once again, there's only so much you can do with the bokeh, in which, how much compression you can get from where you're at. It might be a little too hot. I would bring the exposure down a little bit, I feel. But see, something like this guy really kind of distracts from me. So, probably something a little tighter, and I think it would work, work stronger. So something, just a little bit tighter would work. As I said, that's just a little bit of a distraction. But other than that, once again, capturing the peak moment. You do have a little bit of motion here too, so I like that. That's a perfect mix. So just compositionally, just a couple little things, get a little tighter. So we're back here, back to baseball. It's just a good, it's just like probably a typical warm-up type shot or something like that. You're behind, low. This was at our field at, where we went to school. And yeah, I mean, there's just a lot going on. Maybe you could have went with a more shallow depth of field, maybe cropped in a little tighter. I don't know. There's just a lot going on here. To me, yeah, it's great. You stop the ball. That's hard to do. So if you're really just getting into sports, just in general, using faster shutter speeds and getting what you need, that's fine. But this shot doesn't do a ton for me because there's not a lot happening. It's just a pitcher throwing the ball. So, would I put this in a portfolio? Not really, compared to, like a ceiling base shot or something like that, which shows a little more. But as I said, exposure's on. It's just a little, it's all kind of distracting. I maybe would have used maybe a shallower f-stop just to kind of, use more separation and maybe zoom in a little more and back up physically, and you would even see the foreground, the catcher, blow out a little more as well. Okay, field track shot, runner coming in, happy, great for a website type of thing. Emotion, probably did well. Maybe he's giving a thumbs up, like you should like this video anyway. But no, I'm just kidding. But editing's on. I just wish I saw a little more context to what was going on though. Like for example, maybe more runners in the background, or just something. But once again, if it's just a nice little filler shot, that's okay. But does it do a ton for me? Not 100%, because it's just someone running, from the school. Once again, it could go up on a website, on the school's website, and it will look fine if they're doing a story on this person. But, as an overall shot, does it blow me away? No, but, you can only do what you can do. So we're back here. I like a shot like this because this is what you mean by peak action, peak moment, peak catch. It's, I like it. I wish it was a little tighter as well because, he's in a goalpost. I feel like you could have done a little more in editing. I would have brought him out a little more, maybe with like a brush. I'm not sure if you really do a lot of that, Pat, but I think you use Lightroom if I'm not mistaken. So if I were you, I would grab like a little brush, or I would up the exposure on him just a little bit and make the blues pop, add a little bit of contrast, to make him stand out more, because he is a little flat. As you can see, he's being backlit right here by the sun. So that would just add a little more to it in my opinion. And with one of the last shots, once again, another goalkeeper action shot, it's pretty good. I love the way it's framed really well. You got lucky here, man, with the ball not clipping the top. So that works well. And yeah, I think, once again, you have a great set of images. Once again, as I said, we went to school together, and, I know what you were doing back then. We talked back then, we talked over some things, and your sports photography definitely has gotten, it has stepped up since then. So this is the sports images. I said, you got to watch composition, like for something like this. I'd say your huge thing is composition. I think your editing's really spot on. You obviously know how to freeze motion, even to show some blur, it just being not as fast, doing both what you need to do. You're getting the peak actions, especially with something like this where he's getting the catch, the great face that people love. But yeah, I think the only thing hurting you a little bit is just the use of space. And for something like this, once again, it is tough. But getting that closer to the connection of the bat, seeing the break just happen, something like that would be, the phenomenal shot. So Pat, you have some great images here. As I said, I've known where you come from. You come a long way. So great job, Pat. And it shows that, you could do anything. Once again, he's using I think it's a D7000 and the 70-200 2.8 lens. And you just have to know how to really freeze motion and action with your shutter speeds and everything like that to go from there. So great set of images, Pat. Hopefully this helped you out a little bit. And if you guys have any comments, please write them down in the comments below. Eric Rossi, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give us a quick like. As I said, any comments, leave them down below. And if you guys want to send me your images, send about maybe 5 or 6 images to eric@ericrossi.com and say I have permission to view them on YouTube. It's great if you could send them in a Flickr set. If not, do what Pat did, send them to me individually, and we can go from there. Or in a zip file, we can go from there, and we will give you on a future episode of iCritique. So keep an eye out for another iCritique next week.